Neil Freeman, and good Monday morning. It is time once again for Meshbesher Monday, and I'm here with Josh Tuchscherer from Meshbesher and Spence. Josh, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Neil. Thanks again for having us.
Springtime, time to get the boat out of storage, time to get the cabin ramped up. I'm ready to get out of town and have some fun, but inevitably, life will lead to a bump in the road, or I'll do something stupid.
It happens all too often. I do it too.
Well, that's good to know I have company.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a fair amount of us out there.
Right. But, you know, when those bumps in the roads or when accidents happen, it's important that we have coverage to protect ourselves and, you know, keep ourselves potentially from having to dole out a lot of money in a really unfortunate situation.
Right, and what you're getting at is very important. It's extraordinarily important for your listeners, and it's something that I want them to consider, and that we at Meshbesher and Spence think that they ought to consider to protect themselves in a liability situation. It's called liability coverage, homeowners coverage, things like that. All applies to your automobile and the liability coverage, and then homeowners, obviously, to your home or your cabin. If you've got a boat or a jet ski, whatever it may be, very important that liability limit that you purchase, the insurance that you purchase, is adequate. Adequate to protect you, your family, and your loved ones from really harm that you cause, because it protects your assets.
You know, I would not have any idea, you know, what I would need. I mean, how do you determine what the extent or what the level of liability insurance you need is?
Great question. Great question. Many people nowadays get their insurance online. They'll go to a website and they'll buy their insurance online. The traditional relationship that you have with an insurance agent or an insurance broker isn't there sometimes, and so you're not getting that advice as to what's necessary. And it depends in large part as to what the resources are that the family has or the assets have, and what needs to be protected, and what you're doing as well. The more risk that's involved, the more coverage you need. The greater assets you have, the more coverage you need. And so you have to be in a position to really protect yourself in a worst case scenario. And that's why you want to make sure that you have adequate coverages, not just the minimum. In this instance, it's not the cheapest coverage that you need to look for, but it's what you need and what your family needs that's important.
Yeah, there's an old adage, you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
But, you know, you can't just necessarily look at price point here. Make sure you're doing the right thing for your family, your assets, and, you know, and to really take care of what needs to be done for you.
Sure, and you break it down by areas. So you have liability coverage for your motor vehicle, and it's important that you have more than the state minimum, which is $30,000. You need more than that because of the price of health care nowadays. To cover the health care expenses, you're going to need more than the minimum. Same for homeowners coverage, which protects you, your boat, your cabin, whatever it may be. Make sure that the liability coverage is more than just the minimums, that it's in excess of at least $100,000.
All right, no doubt you're listening to this and wondering, what do I need? They need to contact you to make sure they're making the right decision. How do they do that?
Absolutely. You can reach us at Meshbesher at Spence by giving us a call or visiting meshbesher.com.
That's our Meshbesher Monday on Bob FM.